Eddie Soldier, Sergeant Fury here live. Eddie Soldier, with the presidential debate. The master debaters. I used to be a masturbator. Oh, look at that Lake of the Ozarks. Holy shit. Looks like some good fishing going on there. Lake of the Ozarks. Fishing country. All right.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. Happy debate night to everyone watching. Thanks for being with us. Of course, as you know by now, Live Now from Fox will be simulcasting the first presidential debate there on CNN. And we're doing this pre-debate show, all analysis, all context, because I know you have a lot of questions. I do myself as well. We have a live picture there inside of the spin room at Georgia Tech. We also have a gorgeous Live Now look there over the Atlanta skyline. Of course, you know Georgia is a battleground state. In the meantime, though, we do want to keep bringing in so many experts and analysts to help us make sense of what to expect tonight during this debate. We're going to do that right now with our friends, political analyst Brian Sobel and former Democratic
gotta have those
Joseph
Lucien Andre.
Quite something.
Good morning to you, sir.
It's early.
Joseph.
We've been talking about how early it is.
How's life with the old man?
You know your way around debates. You've been in debates yourself before.
Did you have to duct tape them to a chair?
If we could put ourselves in their psyches, what are they thinking and how are they preparing?
What? I'm not like what?
It's a
I'm private.
high-stress moment.
What?
I remember we would practice debate sessions. You know, you'd have somebody stand in as your opponent. We would actually go over to a college and use their podiums, and we'd have people playing the opponent. We'd have people out in the audience.
I'm gonna tell them on Discord.
But no, I mean this is a high stress time for both of them. And I think there's a lot at stake here. And,
I take that as a
I'm
yes.
sure they've got a lot of butterflies, and what are we? We're just about 25 minutes off or so. So we'll see how it all goes here very soon.
Yeah, we're going to see how it's going to go here real soon.
For anyone who would be in this position, but let's just be real and frank about this. These men are old.
Let's be real frank about this, Frank. Who's Frank?
Does that amplify that question about the stress level of tonight?
Frank?
Well, it's probably a little bit of a matter of stamina. It's 90 minutes long. And, they've got all those rules that you just went over. Luckily for them, they have a couple breaks, so they'll be able to maybe go to the restroom if they need to do that.
Oh, no, they got to have fucking debate depends on, man. They better have their fucking debate depends on. They're not fucking going to the bathroom at all. Fuck that shit.
Setting those rules
Hell
in advance. No. So you want to have those so they benefit you the most. I'm always better earlier in the evening than I am late. I'm a very early riser, so we would want to have our debates earlier. But, it's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern for these
Carrie Busto. Hey, Carrie Breast. That's what that lady's name is, Carrie Breast. Carrie Busto.
How does their stamina hold out in this 90-minute debate?
Yeah, I've been hearing
Carrie Breast
from people on social media.
Wow, she must have got teased a lot, huh?
They're asking, why is the debate so late, 9 p.m. Eastern? Brian, to that question, the age-old question, no pun intended.
Oh, you're getting ready to go to work?
Mental fortitude, mental aptitude.
You know that lady's name is Busto, right? Breast?
For the most stressful and important job in the world. How much is that going to be at play here tonight, Brian?
It's a huge factor.
When I lived in Los Angeles, this girl that I lived with and dated for years,
you have two elderly.
She had a female gynecologist, and that lady's name was, believe it or not, Bonnie Beaver.
It's the first debate in American
It's like, oh my God, you have a fucking gynecologist, and her name is Beaver?
There's a lot at stake.
What the hell? He must have got teased at gynecology school a lot, huh?
And the rules are restrictive enough that both of these candidates are going to have to debate.
It's a beaver working on beavers.
Rehearsed and dealt with. And that's that whole list of issues that we know are important to the American people. And so we will see.
Holy cow, man. Is it like fucking skinny fucking jean time, man? Look at all those guys standing around with those fucking skinny jeans on.
That will connect with the very thin number of people in America who don't lean one way or the other pretty strongly.
Sherry,
I was going to say, this is a race about picking up votes of independents and others who haven't made up their mind yet.
Yeah, Sherry and Brian too. I mean, you're students.
Oh, I bet you there's a lot of Americans haven't made up their mind.
Bullshit. Mattered as much as this between what is being described as two incumbents. Of course, Biden is the incumbent because he's president now, but Trump is a former president. He is the leader of the Republican Party. So that dynamic,
And bacon,
I think, is so
chocolate
interesting
chip cookies.
here. And you can make the argument, who is the underdog?
I guess I should have
who's on
ice
top, who's
cream,
going
right?
in with
So
the
I can be like
momentum.
Biden and just
How do
wander
you make
around with
those
my fucking
arguments
ice cream.
when they're both really incumbents, Sherry?
Well, I've always felt that these debates are high stakes. I was at the Biden-Trump debate.
Who's this lady,
4
man?
years ago. I was at the Hillary.
Yeah, look at everybody's got skinny jeans
Trump
on.
debate, 4 years before that. The one where Rudy Giuliani brings out
I don't see
the
anybody with
women,
normal
and, I
fucking
was sitting
pants on
right
at all.
behind them. I just remember
Even the
drama
women, that's a
associated
woman
with that.
standing there, the one right dead center of us with the white fucking tennis
look,
shoes
I
on.
think these are always high stakes.
the blonde
in this
hair.
day and age, these races are close.
One's by herself. Oh, she's
I
taking a
also
picture of
remember
those
when
three
President
people
Obama
together. See?
bombed his first debate, and as,
Oh,
as
can you take a
Democrats,
selfie
we were all
of us?
sweating it.
Fine.
And you also think when
What
you're
you do
running
is you
for
turn the fucking
Congress, as I
camera
did
around so
5
you have a
times,
picture of
in
yourself,
fact,
and
I
they think
ran
they're
as a
getting a
Democrat in the Trump
picture.
district.
When they get back and look
so
on it,
you always
it's
have
gonna have
think,
all
okay,
these
how's this
pictures of
going
me
to impact the
smiling.
down ballot races. So there's just, I like I said,
Who do I think
they're-
is gonna be
they're always high
president?
stake.
The one who wins.
Back into history,
Is that a trick question?
Since the televised debate between
Well,
John
Trump
Kennedy
is going to be
and Richard
president
And,
if the
there
election
are
doesn't
always
get
moments
fucking rigged
since
again
that
like the
time
last fucking
that we look
election,
back at,
where you have like
I think back
hundreds
as
of
we
thousands of
studied,
fucking dead
the
fucking
modern debate
people
era
voting.
Of George Herbert
Literally.
Walker Bush looking at his watch while Bill Clinton is connecting with the audience. On
I mean,
the,
you got
the
12
company
million
back
illegal
debate,
aliens that he let into the fucking country,
George W.
right?
Bush, feeling like Gore had
So,
gotten into his space,
a lot of those
not like
illegals
a
are going to
guy
be
does
casting
high
ballots.
yard. But
So
but
we'll
the
see
eye
what
roll
happens
and
here.
all the body mannerisms and everything else are just studied and looked at by people way more now than they have been in the past.
And you can make the argument.
I'm
too,
just
if you
curious
disagree
about
with
this
me,
whole
that,
debate
those
thing.
moments, the body
I mean,
language,
Biden got there 5 fucking hours ago. I turned this on at 4 o'clock, right? And fucking Biden was already there shaking hands with people. I'm like, yeah, they had to get him there early so he could take his fucking nap, man.
2012 between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. The
Joe
comment by
Biden,
Barack
hey,
Obama
maybe you can be a
about
fucking nursemaid for
Russia
Joe
as a threat, I
Biden.
think everyone remembers
Joseph?
that. But as far as policy is concerned,
Personal nursemaid to
people
the fucking
remember
president?
personal
How's that sound?
showbiz element
For a
moments
job, huh?
to these debates. That is what you just referred
I mean,
to.
it'd be pretty easy taking care of him, man. All you gotta do is give him fucking ice cream and make sure he doesn't fucking fall down any fucking stairs, right? Or fall up any stairs. He doesn't wander off any place. You put one of those little kitty leashes on there like you got kids. You know, those harness things, the long leash thing like they have on fucking dogs and shit that you put on your kid.
Well, you don't know what's going to
You
happen.
can reel
over
him
these
back
90
in.
minutes,
That's
but
what they need on fucking
very
Joe
strong
Biden with the Secret
performance will
Service.
be
They need
important
one of those
for President
fucking infant
I
fucking
know he's
leash
we've all
things,
read
man.
That he's been at Camp David. He's been preparing.
Huh.
I like how Donald Trump said he's out in a cabin, or he's in a bunker. I like his description, and even the Trump campaign trying to manage expectations, and all of a sudden how they used to make fun of President Biden. And now they're saying he's a good debater. They're trying to manage those expectations. But
Joseph's got all the
think
fucking
that,
nicknames
as
down,
we
huh?
look at
Wow.
tonight,
I'm impressed.
Again, I see this as a performance that has to be very, very strong. And I have no doubt that
Oh, look at those two
Trump will
Asian
be,
girls there taking pictures of
will
each other.
throw
God damn,
out
that one girl's hair. Look how pretty her hair
misstatements.
looks. One with her
We will
back
see
to
how
us.
the moderators
Yeah,
handle
her.
that.
With the
I
white
also
dress
have no
on.
doubt that,
Her
President
friend looks a little
Biden
dumpy
is
with the fucking
sympathy
gold
and his
top
empathy
on and the
for,
fucking
Americans
pants.
who
she's
struggle.
looking pretty
I think
cute
that
with a
will
little
come
white
through,
dress on.
strongly. And I think we can expect
Yep,
the
I think
questions
so,
that
man.
will be out there about abortion, about Roe versus Wade, about the
We got the
economy,
perfect
about
spot, man.
crime,
Check
about
out all the
border,
girls' ass, man.
About will
We're on
President
the
Trump
ass
accept
cam where
the
we're at.
results of this
We got
election?
the perfect
I
seat,
think
man.
If I were to throw out a
Ass
question,
cam
what I
seat.
would want to ask Donald Trump is, should Roe versus Wade be enshrined in law by the Congress and ban abortions nationwide, will he sign that?
Okay.
Because it is a very sensitive issue.
They
right
already
now,
had.
and
They already
I think
did
that's
away
a
with
question
fucking
that's fair,
abortions
and I
across
would
the
love to hear
United
the
States
answer to that.
already. Don't have to
Brian,
sign it
you
into
talk
law.
About issues as well. How much do you think the 2020 election will be front and center in this debate in 2024? I mean, if you're Jake Tapper and you're Dana Bash, do you have to ask about 2020? Do you have to ask about the January 6th Capitol riot or not? Brian?
Well, I think in 90 minutes, that has to come up at some point.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump has to answer, and his answer's on the record. And
Oh my God, they're still taking pictures of each
people are
other?
looking for what typically drives.
Oh, you know what?
presidential
She's a
elections, and that's,
reporter. She's
issues
reading
of the
something.
economy.
The other girl
Yes,
is doing
immigration's
is
gonna be
filming
talked
her
about, and abortion,
on her phone.
and the fentanyl crisis and crime in the cities and homelessness, and over 90 minutes you're going
Now
to see a
she's
lot
talking.
of these things talked about. But eventually, people
Oh.
always come back to the
That's my timer
to the wallet.
for my
If
fucking
if you think about this.
homemade
when George
chocolate
Walker
chip cookies
Bush
I'm
faced,
baking.
This little known
Oh, yeah.
governor from Arkansas.
We'll pull the chocolate chip cookies out of the
nobody
fucking
took on
oven.
that race against Bush because he was so popular. Had a huge approval rating at that time. Clinton moved ahead, took him on. Remember, it's the economy. It was all about the economy. And so even though Bush had performed well as commander-in-chief in a military operation, people said, hey, I can't afford the groceries. And we're looking around the country, and that is an issue for people. So that's going to be a major factor. So I think President Biden has to answer the question, and he will, about the economy. And he's going to cite, and you're going to hear all kinds of metrics tonight. And he's going to cite the fact that the economy has been doing better in recent days and he's going to say it's because of my administration. And Donald Trump's going to come back and say it's been a disaster. Probably use that word.
All right,
for 3
cookies
years.
are done.
And so you're going to see this back and forth, but people are going to be listening.
Oh,
very
another one?
closely
Did I miss her?
to
God
answers
damn it.
Around the economy
Shit.
in particular, along with these other issues.
Sherry and Brian, aside from
Well, go back to the crowd.
open
People quit
question,
talking.
which I
We
think
want
is
to look at
really
the hotties,
interesting,
man. We
the
want to
last
see
time these
this old
two
fucking
men
lady.
faced off in 2020,
that
it was
old
late
guy.
September. Biden didn't have a record. Trump was the only candidate
Harry
that had a
fucking
record.
Bush
and
and Brian
both of their
Sorvell,
records
the ice cream
as
dude, man.
president,
We got a Harry
will be
Bush
put
and we got
against
ice cream.
each other. So I thought that was really interesting as well here. But Sherry, you want to talk about some of
All right,
the
Joseph. Drive safe, bro.
tawdry
We'll see you there in a little bit.
details, of the news cycle around some of these debates. You remember back in 2020, there was allegations put out by the Trump camp that Biden was going to have an earpiece, that he was going to be taking performance-enhancing drugs. We still have that kind of same mini conversation around these debates going into tonight as well. So will civility come back tonight, or is it gone for good?
Oh gosh. The cutting off of the mics when the other person is not speaking, I think is probably a pretty positive thing. Again, to be there in person and witness how Donald Trump was hovering over Hillary Clinton. I was there watching that in person and just
let me see where the fucking hottie is in the fucking green that you were talking
listen
about.
to Donald Trump just shouting
I don't see
over,
her.
not just
Some
Joe
blonde
Biden,
chick
but
with her
also the
fucking pants
moderators. So
going
I
up her
think that's
fucking
a
ass,
blessing
man.
That will
Like that
force
pantsuit
some
she has on
civility.
is way too
But
short, man.
again,
Like
we're
about
now-
fucking 6
we're
inches
15
too
minutes
short
off
for
or so
her.
from the start
Holy
of this,
shit, lady.
And I think by the end of those 90 minutes, we'll have a little more clarity about this. But look, I think this is, if you have any interest in politics and in American government, this is must-watch TV tonight. It'll be interesting
Must-watch
to see what the
TV.
ratings are.
Everybody's
but
watching
I'm
this.
just
They
very
have more
interested
fucking
in seeing
people
what
watching than
comes
the
out of
fucking
this.
Super Bowl.
Will it be civil? Will it not?
Yeah.
It's hard for a guy like Donald Trump to constrain himself because he's not known one bit for his civility.
Okay, Brian, to that point, though, the audience question. I'm curious, are you pro-audience or anti-audience? What are the benefits or disadvantages of either question? Where do you fall on the audience question?
Well, I think if you have an audience, you have the energy that's in the room. I've debated many times. There's a lot of energy.
There's a fucking shitload of people watching this tonight. Are you kidding? People around the fucking world are watching this, man.
It just gives a vibrancy.
I can't believe they're doing it. Well, the reason they're doing it at 9
On the
o'clock
other hand,
It's
when
'cause
you're
only
in a
6
room
o'clock
with,
on the West
a couple of
Coast.
moderators
You know what I mean?
and you're not playing to the
So
audience.
they wanted to make sure all the people on the West Coast got home from work.
Yourself a little bit more. And I think
The problem is 9 o'clock on the East Coast. A lot of fucking old people are in bed already. You know what I mean?
Especially with
Lots of
two
people are in bed
moderators
already.
and these other,
This is like where I live is
rules that are on the
farming
microphone
area.
and
They
that
get
sort
up
of
at
thing.
fucking
But,
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the
there's
morning.
pluses and minuses.
Yeah, so a
You
lot
go
of those
back
people are
and,
fucking asleep
I
already.
do a lot of work with history, and you go back to that Kennedy-Nixon debate, first time on television, and Nixon is sweating profusely,
Right.
and the hot lights are bothering him, and Kennedy, cool as a cucumber. It made a big difference, because if you go back and look,
Cucumbers.
people who were
What
polled
about
after
fucking
that
cucumbers
debate,
for,
if
man?
they heard the radio debate, Nixon won that.
Sure.
If you polled him on the television debate, Kennedy won it.
Yeah.
So, these are all interesting sidebars.
Definitely. We got to go. Well, speaking of sidebars, too, it's not just the debate itself. A lot of questions are swirling in the political atmosphere as well tonight. Who will Donald Trump pick as his running mate? Also, the RFK Jr. question. He's doing his own counter-programming event tonight. It seems like the Trump and Biden camps have neutralized the third-party threat, at least for one night.
Neutralized
We gotta
that
leave it there.
third-party
We gotta go.
threat.
Brian Sobel, Sherry Bustos, can't thank you enough. Have a good debate night.
Thanks, Andrew.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
All right, in the meantime here, we do want to take yet another quick commercial break. Remember, we still have our live picture there inside the spin room.
yeah,
We're
we
going to be
got
going
that
through
live
some tweets as
fucking
well to see how
picture.
the campaigns are preparing. We are just about 12 minutes away from the first presidential debate. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
Oh my God, we're getting there. We're getting close. 11 minutes away. We're in a commercial break. Damn, is that light in Atlanta right now? That's pretty fucking light, huh? For Atlanta, Georgia. That building's got a crazy looking roof on it. All right. We're on the way. Yeah, and the fact that CNN is setting this whole thing up, I mean, they've never had a debate where they have all these rules and regulations and have all these fact checkers and, you know what I mean? The whole fucking thing is sort of stupid in that sense. Wow, look at that advertising they have. Oh, it's a Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I think. How could I tell, huh? Oh my God. Talking about big fucking advertising for Mercedes, man. Holy shit. Can't have a Ford Stadium or a Chrysler or a Dodge or... Nope, gotta have a Mercedes-Benz.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks so much for joining us for some of this pre-debate coverage.
Phoenix,
and
partly
analysis
cloudy,
of
109.
Yeah, we got about 10
LA,
minutes until the debate
71.
starts here. We're going back
Oh,
out
fucking
live,
pussies
though,
are probably
to
crying.
Atlanta. My
Ooh,
friend
it's so
Fox's
cold.
Madison Scarpino standing
Austin,
by there with the
96
pulse
and
of the
burning
city
up.
on this major political night. She
Boston,
joins me.
79
Madison,
and
good
rainy.
to see you here. I know
Probably.
you've covered politics
Chicago,
a lot this year.
Chi-Town,
What's in store tonight?
66 degrees. Dallas, partly cloudy.
Hey, Andrew, well, the stage
93.
is set
Ooh,
here
humid.
in Atlanta for one of the rare debates
Cloudy 91.
in U.S.
Wow.
history between
Hot
a
and
sitting
humid.
president and a former president. 4 years after their last debate, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are facing
Las
off
Vegas,
again
109.
in a crucial
Ooh,
battleground
it's
state
hot
of
out west.
Georgia. The
Holy
historic
shit.
showdown will likely see the candidates weigh in on the economy, immigration,
Milwaukee,
and abortion
64.
just hours after the Supreme
Minneapolis,
Court ruled against
69.
Idaho and the state's
That's right, it's in the
near-total
60s here.
abortion ban.
President Trump is going to lay
89.
out
Oh, it's
his
hot
vision
in the
for next
South,
4
man.
years of
New York
America
City,
and really
78.
talk about a contrast
Not
between his record, his
Orlando,
4 years in
84.
office, and Joe
Hot in
Biden's
Florida.
4 years in office.
The former president has been on the road with recent events in D.C., Philadelphia, and New Orleans, while the president has spent much of the last week preparing for the debate at Camp David.
Oh my
The
God! Look at how that
campaign
guy
says the
walks,
president's
man.
record will
He walks
speak
like
for
he got a
itself.
stick up his
presents a
fucking
clear
ass.
choice between himself, who's fighting for the
Oh,
American
my
people
God.
Every single
Can't
day.
believe that guy's
and he's
president.
going to be debating against Donald Trump, who's now
Let's
running
just hope we
his
don't get into
campaign as
World
a
War
convicted
III
felon.
between now and
The latest
November.
Fox News poll shows voters will be paying attention tonight, with more than half saying the debate will be extremely or very important to their vote.
I really just want to
That's
hear their
fucking
plan on
bullshit
how
in a
they're planning to
fucking
secure
half.
our country,
Oh
secure
my
our
God.
borders, keep us safe.
Give me a fucking break, man. Oh, to cut that audio right off, huh? Oh, what the fuck?
I lost programming.
I lost programming. Oh my God, what do I do? God, I don't know what to do. I lost my programming.
Looks like
We got lady, man. She's in fucking panic mode, man. I lost programming.
That's what happens sometimes.
What do I do?
Is live, raw, and unfiltered.
What do I do?
These major,
She's like fucking in
events here.
panic
Let's
mode,
go
man.
over some of the live looks that we have inside of the.
Whoa,
spin
did that
room
place
there. You can
clear
see,
out real
it's
fucking
kinda
fast.
cleared out
All the
because
fucking
people,
Asian
are
persuasion, she's still
gearing up
there.
to
Look
go,
at her.
Probably in the media filing
Hi,
center, for
it's
so
me,
many of the
Susie
journalists,
Wong.
who have
Yeah, I'm here
descended
for the
on
presidential
Atlanta
debates.
for this major
Yeah, I gotta
event
keep
there.
playing with
Also,
my hair
some
every
tweets
2
in.
seconds.
Let's
So,
go
does
to
my hair
these.
look
So,
okay?
Joe Biden
Yeah, quit
there, you
fucking
can
with
see
it.
he says,
So I can
"I
take
don't
a
know
fucking
what
picture
they've
of
done
you.
in these performance
What the fuck?
enhancers,
Has he got a
but
beer?
I'm feeling pretty jacked up. Try it yourselves, folks." He says, "See you in a bit." Joe.link/secret sauce. So the Biden
What?
camp is clearly tongue-in-cheek there, playing on the trope the Trump campaign said a couple weeks back, accusing Biden of possibly using performance-enhancing drugs.
Oh my
Of course,
God, they've
those
got
are
this motherfucker
unfounded
jacked up on so
allegations
many
and claims
fucking
at the moment.
drugs.
Trump made the same claim.
You trying to tell me Biden's not gonna be on any
2020, but
drugs
as you
at all?
know, the Biden
Really?
campaign there in this tweet.
Give me a
Having
fucking
fun
break,
with it,
man.
As well here, Trump going so far as to dare Biden and the Biden camp to undergo drug testing ahead of this. So this
Yeah,
is
they wanna
all
do
part
drug
of the
testing
back
and they
and
fucking
forth,
shot that down.
amongst these campaigns here. So we also have, I think, a tweet. Dan Scavino Jr., he runs Trump's social media account. He was in the comm shop at
Tough
the Trump
guy,
White House.
man.
Trump
Good evening to you there,
arrives
young
at
man.
CNN in Atlanta,
Just in time
Georgia.
for the
We have
action.
Beautiful live now look there. Over the
They're
Atlanta
trying to say this
skyline, you see there
bullshit
Mercedes-Benz
that
Stadium.
CNN's
We
trying
also
to
have
say
this,
that half the
picture
fucking
as well
voters in the
inside
country
of this
haven't made
room.
up their
Take a look at
mind yet.
this.
50% of the
So we
voters.
are
I'm like,
just
nah.
about 6 minutes away
I think it's
here.
around
My colleague,
30%,
Austin
man. I think
Westphal,
70% of
will
the
be
country's
joining
pretty
me
much
for
made
a
up
lot
who
of
they're
the
voting for.
post-debate analysis. We also have a lot of
Yeah, it's clearing out
reporters and
real
analysts
fast now.
standing by as well
Holy
for
shit.
so much of this post-debate coverage. Remember, it's 90 minutes, and so there's no audience. There's no crowd.
Yeah, no
The
audience,
mics will be
no
cut when the other
crowd.
candidate
No, I'm just like, how could you have a
is
debate
not
with no
speaking.
audience?
We also have the podium positions. That was announced a couple of days ago. We know where.
Oh my
Biden,
God, those
in
Asian
the coin
chicks are
toss,
back again?
Chose
Gee,
his
oh, and they're
podium
playing with
position.
their
That was
hair
the
again.
Biden
Quit
campaign
playing with your
wanted. They
fucking
wanted
hair.
the podium position.
Oh my God,
The
these
Trump
fucking
campaign in
Asian,
that
two
very
Asian
same
women are
coin
obsessed
toss,
with their fucking hair, man.
got the last word. So Trump will be getting the last word.
Fucking
in the
Chinese
debate
communists,
once
man.
the 90
Check their
minutes,
fucking
is
IDs.
all said and done here.
Pull them into
like
the
I said,
fucking back
We're
room.
about 5 minutes
Yeah.
out. We hope
I
you
think they're fucking
are
Asian
gearing up
spies.
for
I think
this.
they're Chinese
This will be
spies, man.
simulcast on Live Now from Fox, the CNN presidential debate. In the meantime, here, we do want to bring into the conversation my friend and colleague, Austin Westphal. He joins me in the Live Now newsroom for more. And
Sounds
also
like
just
a plan there, Top Gun
the
Mav.
viewers, kind of a programming note. The stipulations and the restrictions on some of the debate content itself, there's a time frame until we can show highlights and clips of the debate. So that's about 90 minutes after the debate is all said and done. And then we will be showing some of the key highlights, the exchanges.
Yeah, they have another
back
thing.
and
They
forth
can't
between
show
Trump and Biden
anything for
on that
90
debate
minutes
stage.
after
So
the
wanted to
debate
make sure
is over.
viewers
I mean,
know
what the
that. It
fuck
won't be
is going
immediate.
on with
We'll
our
have it a
fucking
little bit later
world?
tonight. Austin.
Yeah,
Where
so
fucking
Andrew,
the White
basically,
House
we're
and
gonna be looking at
CNN are
2.5
calling
hours.
all
We're
the
going to be
fucking shots
chopping
on
up
the
some
debate.
of,
Oh my
call it
God.
the more interesting parts of the debate. This thing is going to be lengthy. It's going to be 90 minutes long. What topics are going to be covered? That's something that everybody's going to be asking around this time. CNN itself hasn't exactly told us what the specific topics will be, but just to hit a couple of hot button issues here.
Yeah,
border
and
security
CNN
and
won't
immigration
release
obviously
all the
expect to be a
questions
big
that are
one,
going to
and
be
we'll
asked.
obviously
This
be
the
looking
whole
out
fucking thing is
for anything
bullshit,
to
man.
discuss
It's
as
all
far
rigged
as
in Biden's
abortion
favor,
rights
man.
go.
The whole thing is
Obviously
trying to be,
Trump's
they're trying to
felony
rig it in Biden's
conviction.
favor.
That's something
They're going to
that
turn
we
Trump's
expect Biden to talk
microphone
about
off
in that
on
hush
him.
money case.
Like I
There
said,
is
this whole
also
thing
the
is
conviction
bullshit,
of
man.
the president's son, Hunter Biden, for possession of a gun that he had in his possession while he had a drug addiction. So we're going to be looking forward to some of those things. The economy, as you know very well, Andrew, is always one of the bigger elements that helps voters decide which way they're going to be swinging.
That's right.
In any given election year. So voter concerns about the ages of both of these presidents is also something that
Totally.
you've been touching on throughout the evening. Just a quick stat on an age here. I saw this on Pew. Pew Research said that the median age of
I'm
current
telling you,
national
Top Gun
leaders
Mav,
is
everybody in the
62 years
fucking
old. Whoever
country
is elected in this
and the
election,
fucking
they will
world
be
is going to be
the
watching
oldest
this
person
debate.
ever
This
elected
will have
in
more
history.
views
That's right.
than the fucking
And you
Super
know,
Bowl.
in the wake of the Trump conviction,
Because Super Bowl is like the number one watch show outside of the Rose Parade. Remember we watched the Rose Parade this year?
Attack lines tonight as well. We'll see whether or not his own son's conviction,
You
to
know,
your
so
point, is brought up.
Rose
by
Parade,
the Trump
Super
camp
Bowl are like
as
the
well.
two
The
main
economy,
watched events.
abortion,
You know,
immigration,
but I
cost of
guarantee you
is
there's
not
going to be
going to be fixed
millions
because we
of
haven't
fucking
got the
people
decision
turning
yet from
into
the
this
Supreme Court.
debate,
This
man.
question
Millions.
on presidential immunity: can a president, while in office, be immune from criminal prosecution for alleged crimes they committed while in office? So we don't have that ruling yet. The Supreme Court still has a few more rulings left to deliver. That could come tomorrow. That could come Monday. But it can't be an attack line tonight because it has not come down as well. Also, the counter-programming from some of these third-party candidates. As you know, RFK Jr. holding his own event. He's not on the debate stage tonight. The parties there, the Biden and Trump camps, somewhat neutralize that threat, so to speak. And then, of course, the question, who might Trump pick as his running mate?
Yeah, which is really weird how they excluded Kennedy, right? He's an independent party running for president, but he got excluded from the fucking debate, which shows you how they're not even taking him serious, right?
I will see you after the debate, and we're getting ready to go. We are about 30 seconds out
Here we
from
go.
the debate here, and you can see that
Getting ready for the action. I think Trump should come out there and go there and just smack fucking Joe Biden right in the fucking face as hard as he can. Just knock his ass to the fucking floor. Get on him and start pounding on him, man.
Experts,
It'll be like, fuck Donald Trump with fucking pulling a stick on fucking Joe Biden. Film at 11. Oh, sorry, we can't have the film for an hour and a half. Sorry, film at midnight.
After the debate is all said and done with highlights. Let's watch.
Here we go. Oh my God.
We're live from Georgia, a key battleground state in the race for the White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president will debate the former U.S. president as their party's presumptive nominees, a first in American history. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world to our studios in Atlanta. This is the CNN presidential debate.
This debate is being produced by CNN and is coming to you live on CNN, CNN International, CNN.com, CNN Max, and CNN Espanol.
The Liars Network, CNN.
Former President Donald Trump in their rematch.
All the lies fit to print.
Each will make his case to the American people with just over 4 months until Election Day. Good evening, I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics and co-anchor of State of the Union.
I want Don Lemon. Where's the fuck is Don Lemon?
Co-anchor of State of the Union. Dana and I will co-moderate this evening. Our job is to facilitate a debate
All right, Top Gun.
between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determines their positions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals.
Oh my God.
For follow-up clarification.
Give me a
or
break.
response.
How can you answer a question in 2 minutes?
When it's time for a candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, he will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements.
Oh, waiting for Fox News. They cut the fucking CNN people right off, huh? Like, fuck that bitch, man. Dana Bash. Wow, what a name for a reporter. Jake Tapper. We're going to tap and bash everybody. Waiting for Fox. Why are we waiting live now from Fox? What's the problem here, folks?
No living being should ever eat processed food for every single meal of their life.
Example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that
What the fuck's
serious.
wrong with his
Just
voice
take
right off the
police in your
bat?
arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to
I bet he's gonna have a heart attack right in the middle of the fucking debate and drop out from all the fucking drugs they gave him.
That's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of a household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I
Holy cow, dude, look at how he's rattling on.
reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure
He's not on drugs at all. He talks faster than me.
Make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate greed is the reason
What the
why-
fuck? Is he speed fucking reading?
We're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos. Literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID. And when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates. That was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, the fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began.
What?
Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, when he was president,
unemployment was the lowest under Trump than any other president in the history of the United States, with everybody, whites, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, women.
The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up.
You don't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. What about all the Marines that died in Afghanistan when they were doing the fucking pullout? Remember? And the Marines got blown up by the fucking bomb outside the airport? I guess you forgot about those people dying, huh?
It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back. And he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national
Biden's looking panicky.
highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to...
Hell yeah, we were making money, man. Fucking gasoline was $1.15 a gallon here. How much you paying for gasoline right now where you live?
We got hit with COVID.
Nowhere near $1.15, I guarantee you.
Unbelievable situation.
Some parts of the country it was underneath the dollar.
And all of the things that we came up with, we gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation.
Exactly.
It's a shame. The damage is done to our
That's
country,
all we are.
And I'd love to ask him,
We're like a third fucking world country. Hawkins radiation.
Jails and mental institutions come into our
What's up,
country
young man?
and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one.
What?
Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happened?
We have 1,000 trillionaires? Oh my God.
8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500.
Remember how they used to want to tax the millionaires in the United States, everyone?
We'd be able to wipe
Right? Back in the 80s when Reagan was president and all that. We got to tax the millionaires. We got to tax the millionaires. Even fucking dumb shit here when he was a congressman. They have him in the 80s and the 90s. Now we're going to tax the millionaires. Oh, now that he's president and he's a millionaire, oh, we're going to tax the billionaires. We got to go after the billionaires.
Everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Uh-oh.
He did beat Medicare
First brain
to
fart.
death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. There's millions and millions of people coming in. They're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out
Italian Eddie.
Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of
What's
America.
this?
We're no
This is
longer
our
respected.
presidential debate, man.
They don't like us.
Between our fucking sleepy fucking Joe and the guy who's going to bring our fucking country back again if he gets into fucking office, man. We might actually not be the laughing stock of the whole goddamn fucking world like we are now.
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
Yeah, the morning after pill.
Just approved the abortion pill. And I
Yeah.
agree with their decision.
I had a friend in LA. She had 5 abortions. You know why? Oh, because I don't want to take birth control pills because it fucks with my body. So if I get, if I find out I'm pregnant, I just go to the Planned Parenthood, right? And have it aborted on Friday. And then Monday she goes back to work. Because one weekend I let her stay at my place because you have to be watched by somebody in case you develop, bleeding and all this shit. Yeah, this is the 5th time that she had an abortion. And the morning after pill makes it even easier, see? Because then they don't have to go to Planned Parenthood or anything. They just get up, they take the fucking pill, the fetus gets fucking flushed out when they take a fucking piss, and that's it, man.
Wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a
That's the only reason abortion became popular in the United States. It's just an excuse for women to go out and be promiscuous and have all the sex they want and not be responsible and have fucking kids. That's all. That's the only thing abortion does. Abortion, in less than 5% of all abortions, is it medically necessary, because the mother's at risk, right?
Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in
or due to incest, rape, those type of things, where the person doesn't want to have the baby.
Some people
Only
don't follow your
5%.
heart, but you have to get elected also, and because that
And
has
it's
to do with
really
everything. You
amazing
gotta get elected.
for all the people who say Black Lives Matters, right? Black Lives Matters, all these black people. What the largest percentage of babies that are aborted in the United States are? At over 5 million compared to less than 1 million for Hispanics and whites and Asians. 5 million black. 5 million black babies killed every fucking year because Black Lives Matter so fucking much to black people. That's why they're 5 times the average of all the other fucking races combined getting aborted.
a guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying...
What do you mean you can't see a doctor for 6 weeks? You can go to a doctor as soon as you find out you're pregnant.
Young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses,
what?
Sisters, it's just ridiculous.
They're being raped by their sisters,
and they try to arrest them when they cross state line.
Thank you.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Considered the most dangerous.
What the fuck did he just say? That you're getting raped by your sister?
Coming into our country, and they are raping.
Oh my God,
killing
dude.
Women, and it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting.
Yeah, what does abortion have to do with illegal aliens murdering people?
It's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the
What
vote of
the
people,
fuck,
which is
dude?
what everybody
He went from
wanted,
one topic to
including the
another
founders
fucking
here
topic,
knew
just
about this
opened the
issue,
door for
which
Trump to
frankly,
fucking slam his fucking dick.
Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion,
Holy
President
cow,
Biden,
man.
7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no...
Look at how fucking confused he looks. Look at him.
Pregnancy, a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea
What?
that the politicians, that the founders
What the
wanted
fuck is he talking about now?
making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
What the fuck was that
The
answer?
life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
You're lying. That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period.
Oh, bullshit.
The Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion.
Yep.
You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever
Yep.
you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats
Yep.
are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period.
A universal ban on abortion? Yes, the United States of America is going to pass a universal ban on abortion.
He'll sign it.
Thank you.
And he's going to sign
Issue
it.
of immigration and border security.
Oh, they cut him off.
A record number of migrants have
Ah, fuck.
crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, made sure that
Dude, there was nobody coming across the border when you were fucking president. The borders were secure. Jeez, even here in Maine.
Increase the number of asylum officers.
In 2022, we had 80
endorsed my position.
or 78,000 people come across the border here in Maine illegally, right? From whatever country, right? That's 2022. In 2023, we had 287,000. It went from 78,000 to 287,000 in fucking Maine. And we're in butt-fuck no place.
People coming across the border illegally, that's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, the history of our country. All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists
Biden's
coming into our
relatives.
country right now. All terrorists.
God damn it, look at Biden, man. Biden looks so fucking old and so fucking confused,
All
man.
over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in his administration, killed three American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea
What?
of emptying their prisons.
A terrorist came across the border when Trump was president and killed 3 American soldiers? Really?
Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse.
They closed 3 veteran homes here in Portland, Maine. 3 veteran homes with disabled veterans in the middle of wintertime and put them all out on the street. Over 100 American veterans that served in military, right, combat or whatever, just so they could move a bunch of Somali refugees in because the lieutenant governor of from Maine is a Somali immigrant.
Every single thing he said is a
See,
lie.
and then we have a Democratic female governor,
Veterans are
and
held
then
up
the
better
Somali
off
got
than
elected. So what they did is they kicked all the veterans out of the 3 veterans homes so they could move Somalis in.
Because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being.
That shows you how much they don't give a fuck about the military. Democrats could care less about anybody in the military.
For veterans, my son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits. Came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period.
Oh my God.
And number 2, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history.
What?
American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans.
Trump is the one who turned the VA around and fired all the people at the VA that couldn't get fired. He changed the fucking federal laws so VA employees could be fucking held responsible. Oh my God.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end
Robin
this war
F.
if Russia keeps the Ukrainian
Welcome
territory it has already
from
claimed,
Germany.
and Ukraine
Wow, guten Tag.
abandons its bid to join NATO.
No, I don't
Putin's
speak
terms
German.
acceptable to you?
Nein, sprechen Sie Dutch.
Our veterans and our soldiers
But welcome, man.
can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander.
Yeah, what, are they crazy? Trump is the one who turned our Veterans Administration around, if you guys remember. He's the one who fired the head of the VA, plus the other top 12 fucking people. They made it so VA employees could be held accountable. They could be fired, because up until then, VA employees couldn't be fired.
Invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment. In the
Last time I remember when we left Afghanistan, fucking Afghanis were hanging off the fucking wheels of the fucking airplane and dropping out of the fucking sky.
But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind.
Yeah.
When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran.
Oh yeah, but we gave, when Biden became president, remember we gave Iran $100 billion, 2 airplanes full of cash. Then to take all the seats out, to pile all the cash in.
President Biden?
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look,
Malarkey.
the matter is, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops. And
What?
He did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president.
What? Iran attacked our troops and caused brain damage? Oh my God, listen how this guy's talking.
When the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where
We airlifted out 100,000 people out of Afghanistan. When?
He told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. Now listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish. Kyiv, and he in fact didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done, and they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute. I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending.
I know, we're spending billions of dollars on some fucking bullshit conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
As president,
Fucking joke.
Before I take office on January 20th, I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then do you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine?
Better watch out, Robin. He's coming for you in Germany next.
What do you think happens to those?
And 7.
You ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says.
How are you today, bro? Fucking, the house is looking good, man. Fuck, you framed that motherfucker up quick, man. What the fuck, dude? You come here to Maine and help me do shit.
Produced as much
Tell the wife I said hello.
for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict.
Wake up.
So far, Hamas has not released the remaining hostages.
Oh, he's breathing heavy.
Is continuing
He doesn't
its
look
military
good.
offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use?
Holy cow, he's
to get
breathing
Hamas
really
and
heavy,
Israel
man. Look
to
at
end
that.
the war?
Holy
You have
shit,
2
dude.
minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war.
Oh no, fuck that, man. We want to. You look so lost. That's 7, I know. No, fucking Israel's gonna wipe out Hamas 100%. They're not gonna let a Hamas get strong again. They're not gonna let anybody in Hamas stay alive. That's it, man.
They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest.
What? We saved Israel? Oh my God! Joe Biden saved Israel from Iran. He said, we stopped the ballistic attack.
We send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Oh my God.
Back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them, so you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting you got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
Oh my God, they keep giving Biden these rebuttals too. Saying then Trump they cut off.
He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but are we ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. You see what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of
Oh well, North Korea just sent fucking Putin 1.5 million artillery rounds, and they're sending a whole fucking battalion of engineers
would you support the
to Ukraine. So we're going to have North Korean soldiers in Ukraine now.
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations.
Holy
because
cow.
If you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything that we have. But we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed...
Hey, welcome back, Joseph.
And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia at a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time? And I said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to
storm the Capitol. Gee, the last time I checked, I saw video in the Capitol Police opening the door and letting everybody in.
Your actions and inaction on January 6th.
I didn't see anybody storm anything.
I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor in writing, by the way, the mayor in writing turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard.
What the hell is wrong with Biden, man? Why does it look like he just shit his pants?
She turned it down. The same day
You gotta look like he fucking crapped his fucking pants or something,
made
man.
her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up to the Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours. 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do
He
something.
needs gamer depends. I'm telling you, N7. I think he shit his fucking pants just now.
The great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll not forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He didn't do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden.
What?
President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person in this
They keep giving him the rebuttal. You notice how every time they give him an extra minute.
What he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks.
The idea they didn't kill anybody.
The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing to, will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now? Will you denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have.
Oh my God, they don't even let him answer. Oh, fuck it. This is all fucking bullshit.
You would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor, having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. Well, you want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
Oh my God, he gets to respond. Oh my God.
Wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things?
Molesting a woman in public?
On the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean,
what?
What are you talking about?
On a night that your wife was pregnant and you molested a woman in public?
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge.
What the fuck did Biden just say?
The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil
What the fuck did he just say?
After his political opponent, because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases,
oh my God,
I understand it better than he does. He has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American
He said he molested a woman in public
millions of Americans who are
and then raped a woman or something when his wife was on the night his wife was pregnant. I think your wife was pregnant on more than one night.
They know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's
Oh
got
my
a lot
God.
of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any president say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches.
Coming out of the woods carrying swastikas and torches?
Back in Germany.
What?
And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The people the ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people? This is a guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
All right, Donald Trump has no... They're acting like Donald Trump wasn't president.
because when you see the sentence,
Fucking Biden, you do realize Donald Trump was president of the United States of America for 4 years. Everybody was working. Literally, everybody that wanted a fucking job was working. Gas here in Maine was $1.15 a gallon. Heating fuel was $1.05. There's never been $1.05 in the fucking history of fucking Maine.
be having a debate about it. There's nothing
Heating
to
fuel has
debate.
never been that
Keep up
cheap.
the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked.
Fucking
all over
eggs
the
were
place.
79 cents at the fucking store. You can get a fucking goddamn full fucking roasting fucking chicken
It's a nonsense
for
story.
$2.29. Is this motherfucker crazy or what?
President Biden. And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president.
What is he talking about? Fucking Nazis coming out of the fucking woods with fucking torches.
We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why? Why? They know him well. They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN.
Oh my God. See? Oh, President Trump, you get 1 minute as a rebuttal. Nope, can't have that. Honestly, is there one fucking person listening to me that can tell me that they're better off today than when Donald Trump was president? You're a fucking liar. You are a fucking liar. Our fucking economy's fucking going crazy. Everything's out of fucking control. Prices are through the fucking roof. People aren't happy with their fucking jobs. People are struggling to pay their fucking bills. I wasn't struggling when Donald Trump was president. I was making money on all three of my businesses. My antique store was making money. My computer business was jumping. My engraving business is doing good. The fuck, man? I'm barely selling shit on eBay right now. I have no engraving business and barely get any computer jobs. And I'm paying fucking $4 a fucking $4 and something for fucking gas at the gas station. $3.79 for regular. Sure the fuck isn't when Donald Trump was president. Like I said, man. And we didn't have fucking people getting murdered all across the goddamn fucking country by illegal aliens every goddamn fucking day. Plus, have you realized how many mass shootings we've had in the last 2 weeks that they haven't reported on the news? All in the southern United States. Italian Eddie, who am I voting for? Gee, I wonder. Who do you think I'm voting for? I'm voting for Joe Biden. I want free cocaine. Joe Biden's saying he's going to fucking make his son the fucking next drug czar. He's going to give out fucking free cocaine to everybody who votes for his dad. Yep. Free Andrew. What's up, bro? That's right. Free fucking cocaine. Hi, my name is Hunter Biden. I'm the new drug czar of the United States of America. If you vote for my dad, I guarantee you free cocaine in the mail. That's right. Prop 219. Legalize fucking cocaine. That's coming next. Fucking Hunter Biden. Oh yeah, he's like, God damn it, Dad. We already have legal fucking pot. Can't we get some fucking legal cocaine too? Well, I'm working on it, son. You gotta help me out. What about some of your homies, man, when you were in the fucking joint? Oh my God. God, man. I can't wait till fucking Biden gets elected again. I get my fucking legal fucking cocaine. Hell yeah. Yeah, welcome, Andrew, by the way. Yeah, he was pretty hyped up at first, and you can see he's burning out really quick. He looks like he's going down pretty fast here. But he definitely does not have his facts together. And if you notice, he's rambling on. You notice how he starts to say one thing, and then he switches real quick to something else, and he's just like rambling, man.
President Biden, while black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times
Wait a second.
more likely
Under
to die
President
from
Trump,
pregnancy-related
black
causes.
unemployment
Black
was the
Americans
lowest
are
it had ever been in the
imprisoned at
history of the
5 times
United
the rate
States at
of white Americans.
1.8%.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small black businesses that have been started than any time.
And why is he so hoarse? Why is his voice so hoarse?
Unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number 3.
Hasn't anybody addressed that?
Housing for black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these.
Oh, yeah. He looks like fucking Burns. You're right. He looks like Mr. fucking Burns, Joseph. Oh, my God. It's fucking Mr. Burns.
The choice that black families have to make.
Oh, he's having a brain fart. Hold on.
Incredibly difficult. Major piece of legislation. I was able to reduce black child care costs. I cut them in half.
Yeah.
In half.
What?
We got to make sure we provide for child care costs. We got to make sure because when you provide those child care protections, you increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market. So there's more to be done.
Wait a second. No, he has a child tax credit.
49 seconds.
They raised the child tax credit from $1,500 to $3,000, which basically gave all the fucking welfare fucking moms that have like fucking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fucking kids double the fucking money so they would vote for him again.
To be able to buy their first home so they can get started.
They did not lower the cost of child care. If you take your kid to a daycare center or you hire a private fucking nanny, it costs more today than it cost when Donald Trump was president. I guarantee you.
Anything having to do with volunteerism. If they
It's a fucking tax credit.
Their student debt, all the rest is forgiven after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that, and we're going to do a whole lot more for black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation.
Exactly.
It's killing black families and Hispanic families,
Yeah.
and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost.
It's all fucking Biden's fault. What are you going to do, blame Donald Trump?
They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're
yeah.
there,
You know, remember they were going to put charges?
His big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 50% unemployment. He decimated the economy.
50% unemployment when Joe Biden became president? 50% unemployment.
Thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities.
We were in the middle of COVID, you dumb shit.
Covered with the ACA has increased. I made sure that there are $8,000 per person in a family to get written off for the health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any. We put more police on the street than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for
What?
equity, and making
Democrats
sure
put more cops on the street, and Trump wants to cut the cops.
But in inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across
Oh my God.
the country are confronting
Exactly, man.
extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population.
He's claiming
is
the
horrible,
police are
including the fact
fucking
that for
supporting
2 years
him, and
ago,
they're all fucking for Donald Trump, literally. The Police Association of the United States is endorsing him. The Border Patrol is endorsing him. Customs and Immigration, Homeland Security.
Reform and for the historically black
Fucking police
colleges
hate
and
fucking.
universities, we're
Last time I
funding them,
checked,
got them all funded,
Biden
and the
let 3 fucking
opportunity zones
illegals beat the
with
fuck out of New York cops, right? And then they got arrested, and they let them out with no bail, and then they got on buses and fled the fucking state of New York. That's fucking Biden's policy.
opportunity zones.
That's why they just buried a 12-year-old fucking girl today. They got raped by 2 fucking guys that got out of prison, got let out of prison in their country and came directly to the United States. You know why? Because they had a $1,000 Visa card and a guaranteed hotel room and a guaranteed $500 a month for food. Yeah. So that's why the Honduras and all these countries are kicking these guys out of prison and sending them to the United States. They're just emptying their prisons out.
To slow the climate crisis.
Oh my
I
God.
want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it.
So Joe Biden, one of the first things he did, remember he said he was going to put
and we did
electric vehicle charging stations all across the United States? So he awarded a company in Brazil, right, one of his fucking buddies that donated to his election, a Brazilian businessman, right? The same ones that control all the toll roads in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, right? The same
In history.
Brazilian corporation that runs all our toll roads, because our toll roads aren't even run by us here, gave them $4 billion, right, to build 1,000 EV stations across the United States of America. This is the 3rd month that he was in office, right? So we're talking about April, right, of 2020, right? $4 billion he gave this Brazilian company, and to date, they've only put 7 fucking charging stations in.
The cleanest water? He hadn't done a damn thing with the environment.
7. In Virginia, right outside of Washington.
I immediately joined it.
7.
Because if we reach 1.5 degrees
In 4 fucking years, but he gave them up front $4 billion up front. Not like, well, we're going to give you the contract, and then we're going to give you a little bit of money as you put each charging station in. We're going to, take the $4 billion, divide it by 1,000, right? Does that make more sense? No.
And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money. Because
the reason you're all paying more for everything that you're paying is because of that asshole and his fucking idiots that are ripping off the whole fucking government, putting money in their fucking... You know how much money Nancy Pelosi made off of COVID? From all her inside information? Everybody, every Democrat made money off of fucking COVID. They all made money. They all invested in all these companies, and then within a week or 2 of them investing their money, that company would get a contract from the government for either masks, respirators, gloves.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who we're not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything? We're not able to, the United States can't get its pollution under control. One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 20.
Oh my God, he's picking his boogers.
Pollution in half.
I thought he was going to stick that pin up his fucking nose, man. I'd be laughing if he put that pin up there and it got stuck in his fucking nose. And he put his hand down, the pin was hanging out of his fucking nose. Oh my God, that'd be funny as shit. They'd have to cut the commercial. Mr. President?
But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay. Thank you. And by the way,
so every day, millions of
He just said that he made sure every pharmaceutical company in the world reduced their prices in the United States. Really?
President Biden, if nothing is done to social
So the fact that if you want to get treated for hepatitis C in the United States of America,
step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security.
He didn't mention the fact that the fucking, it's 10 pills, right? One pill a month for 10 months, and they're $8,000 a pill.
6%.
That's the number one drug that they give people in prison. Everybody that goes to prison, no matter what state you're in the United States of America, they give them that Hep C drug treatment. So this way they don't spread Hep C through the prison system, right? Because Hep C is very contagious. Yeah, and it's $8,000 a pill times millions of prisoners. But he just said earlier that he reduced the cost of all prescription drugs to under $200 a pill, which is also a lie because there's
to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
There's also chemotherapy treatments for cancer where you get these shots, right? Those are $125,000 a fucking shot. He got cut off, I know. He didn't like that. He was like, what?
If you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he, I believe, supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And on the ACA, as I said,
Americans have, you know what? When fucking Trump was fucking president, I had full health care coverage from a real insurance company, right? And I could go anywhere, and I was only paying $63 a month, right? The minute asshole Biden became president, my fucking rates went from $63 a month to $985 a month.
Anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be
literally the month after Biden became president, because they did away with all this fucking stupid fucking bullshit, cost coverages and blah blah blah, all the shit that Donald Trump put in to keep us from getting ripped off by insurance companies. That motherfucker took away the first month.
He lies. I've never seen it. He can look you in the face. About so many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine, everything.
Oh no, Joseph. He just said that there's nobody that's paying more than $200, man. You're wrong, Joseph. I think your mom's using that for cocaine, man. Your mom's probably got a local coke dealer, man.
Social Security.
It's $200 for the pill, and then she's taking $300 for cocaine, bro. Sorry to tell you, man.
They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals.
Mike, what's up, bro? Go Trump.
Doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen.
Yeah, see, this is the part that fucking pisses me off. Having been in the United States military, how in the fuck can you let all these goddamn fucking illegals have $500 a night hotel rooms fully fucking paid for by you and I, right? You think that the taxpayers ain't footing this bill, but yet there's American veterans that are fucking homeless. on the fucking streets. Well, you got a bunch of illegals being housed in fucking luxury hotels. They got $1,000 ATM card every month. How many of you guys get $1,000 ATM card every month from the government? And you can go stay at a luxury hotel in New York City for free. Totally free.
He talked about being phony.
Right?
Those 15 Nobel
Plus,
laureates,
$1,000 for food and free medical and free dental and free education.
And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child.
Well, I know, Joseph. I was joking because Biden said that he passed some fucking law that nobody pays more than $200 for prescriptions, and I'm like, he is so full of fucking shit. There's fucking millions of Americans paying more than $200 for their fucking prescriptions. Are you fucking crazy, dude?
More affordable.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very...
Oh, we're back to the fucking... Back to the military with soldiers are losers and all that comment again.
I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit.
Thank you so much, Mike.
This much. It's
love you too, bro. Thanks for supporting, man.
He wants our country to
oh my God! Before I go any farther, let me remind everybody: if you like Sergeant Nick Fury, make sure you smash that fucking like button and subscribe button and click that little bell motherfucker thing so you get fucking notified all the time, even when you're having fucking sex, man. I gotta stop, honey. Fucking Sergeant Fury's on.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden.
We are the most admired country in the world. The United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to.
Right. We're using antiquated equipment. Oh my God, dude.
About worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up. Go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians, they've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history. One through best.
Oh, you want to Google it right now? Shall we Google who's the worst president in American history? Let's Google it, man. All right, hold on. All right. Who is the worst? Hold on. Who is the worst?
We should significantly increase the child care tax credit.
President.
We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to.
Who is the worst president? Hold on, president.
Was about what would you do to make child care more affordable?
And
you want to take your minute?
U.S. history. Google, I want to know.
Because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me.
Oh, sorry, James Buchanan. Worst fucking president in fucking political history. You lied again, Joe.
I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
Oh, total score.
I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise
turns out Donald Trump wasn't the worst president, historians say, from CNN.
You're going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I grow up and I see.
Wow, CNN is saying he's the fucking worst.
We cut taxes, as I said.
Oh, most surveys.
Apple and all these
James Buchanan.
bringing
He's the
money
worst.
back into our country.
Oh, Buchanan's got
The
two
worst
worst
president
votes.
in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about. He's increased the tariff. He will increase the taxes on the middle class
The
people.
Guardian.
I
Oh,
said
Guardian
raise
said
the taxes
Biden's
by
number
less
14
than
and
$400,000.
Donald Trump been his 45th, rock bottom, worst president
You
ever.
know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American
Yep.
$2,500
U.S. historian,
a
People.
year more.
Oh my God,
Those are
People
gonna have to make a
magazine.
difference
Yep,
in
said Donald
food
Trump's bad.
and all the things
Bad,
that
bad,
are
bad.
reported. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks
Oh,
about how he is.
so
not
Buchanan's got 3, sorry.
He somehow helped the middle class. Middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You have the largest deficit of any president in American history.
Oh my God.
Number one. Number two, you have
Sorry,
not,
James
in fact,
Buchanan, man.
made any contact, any progress with China. We are in the largest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Thank you,
were the
President
highest.
Biden.
You lost
Thank you, President Biden.
Yeah, Biden, shut the fuck up.
Impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from
Look,
overdoses.
I told Hunter Biden a long time ago to stop selling fucking drugs, and that's why the opioid crisis has gone down under my administration.
Who are struggling to get the treatment they need.
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
Yeah.
We have the largest deficit with China.
Yep.
He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost
The
3 years
reason
of
Americans
nobody's ever
are
had
struggling with
before.
addiction
Everywhere.
is because their fucking doctors are giving them the drugs.
The drugs pouring across
When
the
I
border.
first moved here to Maine, I went to my dentist, right?
Started to increase. We got great equipment. We
And
bought
for
the
a
circuit
tooth
dog.
to get
It's the most
pulled,
incredible
okay,
thing that you've
so I get
ever
the
seen,
tooth
way they can
pulled,
spot it. We did a
right?
lot, and we were getting very low
And
numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along.
When I go out there to
Have
the
you seen
counter,
numbers now?
his
It's
wife
not
and him,
only
they work out of their
18
home. They
million
have a
people,
dentist
and I
office
believe
in
it's
their
even low
home.
because the gotaways,
And when I go out to the front, right, she has 2 prescriptions for me. One's for Oxycontin, right, 60 tablets, 2 refills, and then 1 for codeine number 3.
Nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad.
And I was like, what do I need those for?
Of drugs coming across our border now is
He goes, oh, well, everybody gets, these when they come here and we work on their teeth. Yeah, come to find out, this Dr. Thomas,
For a while.
him and his wife, they're now retired in Cozumel or whatever in Mexico, because they every 6 weeks they would fly down to Mexico or whatever to their whatever their house they had down there. So they've closed now and moved down there permanently. Good riddance. But they were the major drug dealers here. I mean, while I was sitting there, people would call up and beg the wife to refill the prescription, and she would tell everybody the same thing. Well, you're supposed to come in person to see, the doctor, for us to refill your prescription, but I'll do it this one time. Where's it at? Walmart? At Walgreens? At Hannaford? That was a supermarket, too. Yeah. So, they're just fucking pill pushers, man. Fucking doctors are the ones who push all these fucking pills because they get money from the pharmaceutical companies. And then I'm in the local bookstore, right, little downtown card shop, bookstore that this guy Lynn York and his dad, his dad ran it, and he's old now, he ran it. And these 2 old ladies are there, like
had so many
my
things that
age
we had
old,
done,
like
hard
70-year-old.
negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you
And the
have a
one
hostage,
is
we have to pay
asking the other one if she
$6
has
billion
any of
for a
those
hostage. Every time
pills
this is a
because she
hostage.
says that
Now we have a
she
hostage,
is
the
waiting
Wall
to get her
Street Journal
prescription
reporter.
filled. And she goes, yeah, but you know, I have to charge you $10. That's the going rate in town. And she pulled out a bottle of OxyContin, and this lady gave her, pulled out $10 and gave it to her, and she gave her the pill.
As soon as I take
These two
office,
70-year-old
before I
ladies
take
are doing a
office, I
fucking
said,
drug deal
by
right there in the
literally,
goddamn
as soon as I
fucking
win the
bookstore
election, I
while
will
they're
have
looking
that
at the
reporter
fucking
out.
Hallmark
She should have had
cards,
him out
buying
a long time
Hallmark
ago.
cards for
But Putin's
the
probably
one's
asking us for
granddaughter's
billions and
birthday or
billions of
whatever
dollars
the fuck
because
the other
this
one's
guy
getting her
pays it
card
every
for.
time. We had two
I'm
cases
just standing
where
there
$6 billion
watching
for
them.
5 people. I got 58
And I was
people
like,
out, and I paid
for fuck's
essentially
sake,
nothing.
I never even seen that shit in fucking L.A. I never seen old fucking people stand there doing drug deals, man, at the fucking...
You would be 86 at the end of
Yeah,
your
so
second
old
term.
people here know the fucking pills are worth $10. So, knowing that, they can get as many of these refills as they want, right? And they get 60 pills, so they just turn around and sell them to the young kids. Because that's $600 fucking dollars, man.
In politics, I was the second youngest person.
And you know what their
United
whole...
States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done.
He's 3 years younger. He's a lot less competent. Oh my God. I hear that shit all the time from my customers, man.
Over billions of dollars in private investment.
Customers are like, I'm 78 years old. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm 70. They go, oh, you're a baby.
The whole idea.
I'm like, so the difference between 70 and 78 makes me a baby? Really?
Find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South
So now fucking Biden is saying because Trump is 3 years younger, he's incompetent. He's 3 years younger than me. He's incompetent. Damn it.
To build these chips. Those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have...
From Americans from all over the world, we have $40 billion in the United States, significant $40 billion that's creating jobs for Americans all over the world. Where, what? Give me, I want a fucking job someplace where I can make billions. Joseph, he just said that we can travel, bro. You and I, you want to go to United Arab Emirates? Where do you want to go, bro? He's got $40 fucking billion. We get to go travel and go work someplace.
Everybody trusts us, all of our allies, and our those who
those other guys too.
Putin, etc.
Etc. That's talk.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made
Oh, hell yeah, Joseph. You picked a good spot, bro. Let's go.
He couldn't do it.
I'm going to get a hold of Joe Biden's office
I
tomorrow.
took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I
Yeah, see,
was
nobody even
25,
talks about
30
that.
years
Did you
ago.
know that?
Probably
That
a
Trump
little
won
bit
2
later.
golf
But I'm in
championships?
as good a shape as I was.
And not even senior, like
years ago. I feel
regular
very good. I feel the same. But I took
golf
I was willing to take
championships.
a
And I bet you guys
and you know
even
what?
I
I
mean,
did
nobody
well. I
talks about
aced
the
him.
shit he does.
Dr.
And he's
Ronnie
running all
Jackson
these
was
companies.
a great
You know how many
man.
fucking
He was
companies he
my
runs
doctor,
around
and
the
I took
fucking
another
world?
similar one.
Can any of you tell me how many companies that Trump owns?
Thank you. President Biden?
Fucking Biden came and fucking find the stage, man, and find his way off the stage. And
Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's it. Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to turn
Let's not act like children.
You are
to
a
a
child.
specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Joe
And
just fucking lied about his
say right
handicap.
now
He
that
said he was a
political
6, and then
violence
he
in
said he
any
was an
form
8. I
is
heard that.
unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't
Yeah.
have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you
Joe,
my
yeah,
statements that I
Joe,
made
you
on
will
Twitter at
win
the
at
time,
any
and
handicap
also my
race.
statement that I
We
made
already
in the
know
Rose
that.
Garden, you would
You
say
are
it's one of the
champion.
strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. And I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election
Yeah,
is
they
fair,
showed
free,
video
and I
of the
want that more
Capitol
than
Police
anybody.
opening the
And I'll
door.
tell you
The
something.
reason the window got
I wish I was a great
broken
president,
is because
because I
people
wouldn't
were
be here
getting
right now.
pushed
I'd
against
be
the window,
at many
and they were
places
trying. They
enjoying
broke
myself.
the
I wouldn't
window
be
so
under
that
indictment
way
because I wouldn't have been
people
as
wouldn't
political
get
a
hurt.
you know,
Because people were
opponent.
like, you know, have you ever
Because
been to a
he indicted
concert
me
and you get
because
like
I was his
shoved forward
opponent.
against the
I wish
stage,
he was a great
like you see
president.
people
I
happen
would
all the
rather
time. They
have
can't
that.
breathe.
I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here.
So
The
once
only
they
reason
broke
I'm
that
here is he's
window
so bad
and
as a
it
president
opened up, then
that
people
I'm
were
gonna
able
make
to go
America
that
great
way,
again.
right?
We're gonna
Instead of
make
getting
America great
trapped
again.
against it.
We're a failing nation right now. We're a serious.
But they definitely, I can post video right now, a link, and show you the Capitol Police going over, opening the door up, and them all standing in the hallway, taking pictures with their phones, waving at everybody, and letting them ushering everybody in. That's the video they didn't want to release until a few months ago. Then that video got released finally.
And President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these.
Oh, yeah.
They don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive.
Remember when we had the whole transgender bathroom thing?
You want a World War III.
And he wanted his own fucking bathroom?
Follow and win and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is attack on all.
Why does his eyes get so fucking big like that? Why does his eyes look like they're poking out of his fucking head every time he goes to answer a question? First he looks like he's sound asleep, and he goes to answer a question, he looks like Nancy Pelosi. They're on the same drugs.
Not me, it's because of the American people.
That, you know what? That's who he reminds me of too.
And right now,
Besides Mr. Burns. He definitely acts like Mr. Burns, man. That was the best one, fucking
just let
Joseph.
Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
Yeah, remember that one from South Park when he had his own fucking cushy bathroom and shit? And then what's her name? She decided she wanted to fucking do the same thing, right? And she got the key to the bathroom too, and he was all pissed off.
Russia. They took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of
That
land
was a great
from
episode,
Obama
man.
and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. You're not going to play games with me.
Yeah, remember that episode, man? That episode was so funny.
He took nothing from me. Now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take.
Wow! Look at who's winning the debate! Oh my God! Biden 6%, Trump 94%! Oh my fucking God,
Ukraine's not
man!
winning that war.
Oh my
He said, I
God!
will never settle until such time. They're running out of.
Oh
people.
my
They've
God!
lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the gold.
Ouch, Biden!
All because
Ouch!
of stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair.
Fox
and
has
legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather
311.
accepted these, but the fraud. and
Yeah,
everything
300 and
else
almost
was ridiculous.
312,000
If you
people
want, we'll have a
watching
news
this live
conference on it in a
on
week.
Fox
Or
News,
we'll have another
on
one of these
YouTube.
in a week. But I will absolutely. There's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level.
You see that, Joseph?
Let's see what your numbers are in this election. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Something snapped in you.
We'll be right back.
Something snapped in you. You lost it. You fucking lost it. Something snapped in that man. Well, Joe Biden, with only 4% of the people think you're winning a debate, I think you're in some serious fucking trouble, bro. Like, some serious effing fucking trouble, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you, Joe. Trump is roasting Mr. Burns. Fucking Biden is getting his ass fucking handed to him on a platter, man. He's like mumbling through fucking everything. He can't finish one fucking sentence. Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be the end. This is where the Democrats are going to find somebody to replace him. This is what they were waiting for. The Democrats are waiting, saying, well, let's see what happens. Maybe, just maybe he'll pull off a fucking miracle and walk on water. Oh, I want to thank everybody for watching this with me tonight. Just watching. We were up to like 10 people for a while there. But this YouTube thing's never accurate as far as how many people are watching. It always bounces all over the place. But I'm telling you, man, he's getting his ass handed to him on a fucking platter, man. I was just getting ready to say, are you sure you're not watching fucking Joe Biden? Fucking Joseph. Nursemaid to the fucking presidents. I'm telling you, man, this could be a new job title for you. Years from now, you could be, yep, I remember years ago, back in the day when Sergeant Fury was still alive, and he encouraged me to come here to Washington, D.C. and be nursemaid to the presidents, and so far, I've done 16 of them. I got his twin brother. Yeah. I think you are, bro. I think you are nursemaid to the president, man. Yeah, that's a perfect title. You can put that on your resume. Remember, you were looking for a job and you had a resume? You could put that down there. Nursemaid to presidents. That's right. When Joe Biden comes to visit our country, they call me first thing. Joe's back in town. We need you, Joseph. Oh, Joe and Joseph. Oh my God. Joe and Joe. It didn't even dawn on me till right fucking now. Joe's got his Joe. Yeah. My name is Joe. I'm very impressed. Joseph, how is it taking care of Mr. Biden when he's not at the White House? Hell no. Look at you. Oh, yeah, you know you want to do it. Don't lie.
Time for the candidates to deliver their closing statements as predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
we've made significant
All right, Trump gets a final word.
Those left by
Nice.
Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said,
yeah, I think tax system is very fair.
$40,000 had a single penny.
I'm not paying any fucking money, and I don't have kids, so I don't give a fuck about them little rugrat motherfuckers.
This guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after where he had. And he finds himself in a
What do you
position
mean he's
where
increased your
he now
taxes? My
wants to
taxes
tax
haven't
more
increased.
by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for the ability for the negotiate big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it. We got it down to 15
we got a pretty good
instead of $400.
I think I shit my fucking pants.
$1,000 for every senior. How much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I'm going to make that available to every senior. All along, it's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits that people have for child care. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country.
What the fuck, dude? Lead pipes, child care,
and give people a break.
What?
President Biden, President Trump.
Are you fucking lost your fucking mind?
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else.
Exactly, Joseph.
You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA.
Yeah, because they don't have to wait for the VA anymore. They can go to any doctor they want. The VA can't see them right away.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Let's see what Fox does. See if Fox stays with CNN, which I doubt Fox is going to do their own thing.
All right, and welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. So you have been watching the CNN presidential debate there, 90-plus minutes of both President Biden and former President Trump going at it on the issues. It got personal. We're going to be recapping some of the key highlights here. So we want to thank you for watching. We're going to take yet another quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going live to our reporters standing by in Atlanta for more highlights, more recapping of the first presidential debate. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
Fucking raccoons fighting with each other, man. I don't know what the fuck that was about. The fuck, man? I don't know if it was a male and a female raccoon, or because one was big, one was smaller. But you know, that mom had her babies over here, so I don't know who was fighting. I don't know if it was like a male trying to do something with the mom or whatever. But they got out. I should have closed this thing up when I first moved here. Now I gotta wait until to make sure they're not inside, living inside my fucking wall. All right, N7. Have a good night. Tell the wife I said have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. I'm probably going to game for a while here, man. I'm not really sleepy. I'm not worried about these raccoons fighting, man.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox.
Weird.
I'm Andrew Kraft. We just want to thank all of you for joining Live Now from Fox for the simulcast of the CNN presidential debate. You were watching alongside us, and you were noticing about some of the issues that were asked by the moderators like Dana Bash and Jake
Yeah, we'll
Tapper,
watch
how
this for a
President
while
Biden
still.
and former President Trump responded to those issues. It got personal. Seemingly, though, cutting off the mics worked. There was
Carolina Reaper spray?
as
What the
well,
fuck
but
is
like
that,
I
man?
said, and sometimes it was meandering, and sometimes there was incoherence. You may have heard a frog in the throat of President Biden, and so we're going to be breaking all of this down, this analysis now in our post-debate coverage. We're going to start that off with my friend, Fox News correspondent Madison Scarpino. She joins me live from Atlanta. The debate just wrapped up. Madison, what were some of the key highlights? A lot of ground was covered with these issues, was it not?
Yeah, a lot of ground, Andrew. I'm sure we'll get into all of that in just a second, and you'll be reporting on that all night. But as far as some of the main back and forth circumstances between Biden and Trump, Biden came out and called Trump a sucker and a loser when they were discussing the topic of who was better with veterans, former President Trump or President Biden. Trump, when it comes to foreign policy, told Biden that, quote, the world is blowing up because of him, and went on to say things that he has long been saying for months, like that Putin would have never invaded Ukraine if he was president at the time. But just overall, a lot of insults back and forth. But they did touch on some of those main voter issues, which we know in a
those?
nutshell are the economy.
Oh no, I want to make sure that if she had babies, that they're all out first. You know what I mean? Like they'll only stay here for a while, I think. Once because the bigger one looked like it was the one getting attacked by the smaller one. It was like a bigger raccoon and a smaller raccoon. And it looked like the smaller raccoon was going after the bigger one, to me. And then they both went down. There's like a board that I have opened up that I didn't cover up. And so they were able to squeeze down to there and then go outside. So they're outside someplace now, chasing each other or whatever. So, but it looked like the smaller one was going after the bigger one. So I don't know if that's the mom and the baby or what, because I saw the mom and I saw a baby. But,
going to be talking about this with some of
this fucking raccoon's huge. They get big here in Maine, man. Because other than the coyotes, there's nothing to go after them. Most of the time you see them hit on the highway, you know, from the semis at nighttime, because they try to waddle across the road. They don't go fast enough and then get hit. So yeah, you see a lot of dead raccoons here.
Because there are some restrictions at play with some of
the
clips
it's just
of the debate
the mom and one baby.
So we are not allowed per CNN's
and I think it's to the point now where maybe she's trying to not like nurse it or whatever. She wants it to go out and eat on its own. So yeah, because I've never seen them fight before. That's a whole new thing.
Remember,
But see,
the
now they're
spare room
outside.
there
I
is
should go
alive
block
and
that
well
thing up
in
to
Georgia
keep them
Tech.
from
This is
coming
right
back
across
inside.
from the venue.
So they'd
You
have
see
to try to
there,
figure out,
some of
because
these
I know that's probably how
prominent
they're
surrogates
going
for the
in and out now.
campaigns. That's what we call a gaggle. Reporters kind of flood the zone,
Which is
so
sort
to
of
speak,
sucks,
around
you know, that I
whoever's speaking.
am
That
going
looks
to keep
be,
them from coming back
New York
in here.
Republican Congressman Elise Stefanik.
So-
We'll have it for you in 2 minutes.
But that's probably how they've been coming in and out. So I was trying to figure out how they were getting in and out because she's so fucking big. It's amazing how they can squeeze, the raccoons, how they can squeeze and do small things, man. They're pretty. They look big because they have all that fur, you know, but they're actually pretty skinny, you know, overall. So we'll watch this for a little bit here. And I might do some Division 2. I might do some gaming. We'll see. But man, Biden was fucking so fucking bad. Albino raccoons? I don't want any raccoons, bro. They're living in my wall, man. I'm trying to get them out of there. You know what I mean? So if I can get them to leave, because like I said, I think she had the baby there. Because all of a sudden, like 6 weeks ago or whatever, I heard like a crying over there, right? And then it quieted down, so I could tell that, you know. And then that was like, you know, would happen every couple hours, you know. And then pretty soon it was like every 4 hours and every 6 hours. And then I noticed that at nighttime, it wouldn't happen. It happened early in the morning, right? Because she was going out and then coming back. And then I don't know if she was bringing back food for the baby or whatever to eat. And then about a week ago, I started putting cat food outside in a bowl. Because whoever was in there when she would come back like 4 o'clock in the morning was just crying. And it's like right on the other side of me. I put video up on the Discord. So since I put the cat food out about a week ago, it quieted down even more. You know what I mean? I didn't hear as much crying. So I figured she was either stuffing her mouth with, you know, her cheeks like chipmunks do with cat food and then bringing it back, or it was following her outside and eating, because every morning the bowl is empty. You know, I put a little bit out every night. Get the chainsaw. So, but this is the first time I've ever seen them fighting. And it looks like her and her baby, but it looks like the baby was, you know, going after her, and she was all pissed off at the baby trying to get away. So I don't know, you know, what the whole thing is. Or if that was another male and the male was trying to have sex and she didn't want her. I just know that that's the first time I've ever heard them fighting. So, but they went out. So I'm almost tempted to go out and block that entrance so they can't come back in now. You know, so this way I can get them out of here from where they're living. Because I'm going to have to open up the wall. What is these idiots, when they built this fucking place, to avoid the angle of the roof, they came out away from the roof line and then put the wall. So there's like a void. There's like a 4-foot fucking void behind the wall. Even when I did the bathroom, I had to remodel one bathroom. And when I tore out the fucking bathtub enclosure and shit, there was 4 feet between the kitchen and the fucking bathroom. Like a big 4-foot open area with nothing in it. Like 4 feet wide and 12 feet long. And I'm like, why in the fuck did they got this big, huge open spot? Why didn't they have the kitchen bigger or the fucking bathroom bigger? You know what I mean? Like, people put studs, like 2x4s in between the rooms. You don't have a 4-foot big open spot. Because I even looked around to see if there was a door or a cabinet or, you know, something like, why the fuck do they have this motherfucker there?
He beat Medicare and just,
so,
They did the same thing in the fucking closets. If you go and look where the closet is, and you can see the back of the closet, but you come out, there's like a 4-foot area, and that's where the raccoons are living. They got up inside of there. So I know that thing's probably dirty and full of shit. So once I get them out of there, I gotta cut a hole in the fucking closet wall so I can go in there and clean it all up. Because I've already found another area that they did it to that I'm in the process of cleaning that's full of shit. Yeah. So I've already found one spot that they've already have been living in because there was even wet shit in there. So I know that something was going in there and shitting in there. You know what I mean? So I know they know how to get in and get around. And
with both of them, you didn't really know where this was
but they've been living in here for years. Like since I bought the property 14 years ago. And every year there's a mom with baby raccoons here. You can't find it.
Performance. What are we going to be talking about tomorrow, next week, 3 months from now? Is the question about will he remain on the ticket alive and well also tonight, or is that still a fringe conspiracy element? What are Democrats thinking tonight after his performance?
Yeah, I mean, I would think Democrats, if there were room to maneuver to get him off the ticket, they probably would.
I guarantee you, in the next couple months, they're going to come up with some bullshit that he's sick, and that's why Kamala Harris is going to take over as fucking president, but she's not going to run for fucking president. But she is pushing to let her run for president so she can be the first black woman as president of the United States. But she's a fucking ding-a-ling, so we know that's not going to happen. Because she's a total fucking ding-a-ling. So it's bad enough with Biden as president. Can you imagine Kamala Harris as our fucking president?
The raspy voice. You know, he had a cold, they say, but Biden spent at least a week preparing.
Oh yeah, when they get up and they walk on their hind legs. I know, I've had them come at me like that before. Yeah. They start waddling from side to side and shit. Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Bivouac for him. And he was defending his record.
Yeah, they do that to make them intimidate. They'll stand up and come walking at you. They walk pretty good on their hind legs. The raccoons, yeah, they balance themselves really well.
The impression that people got was Donald Trump basically came off more or less like he did in 2020.
All right.
He didn't seem so nervous to me, but when I look at what Joe Biden did, especially the first half of the debate. That people actually watched, it was brutal.
All right, you guys, I want to put up some of these tweets and reactions here from Jackie Heinrich. She says a very well-connected Democratic source tells her the House and the Senate are the GOP's for now. Everyone is freaking out. He needs to go. No way they replace him unless he agrees there. So you want to talk about Dem level.
See, he's got him by the balls too. Biden, because he knows the dirt on all these fucking people in Washington. See,
speaking there in the spin room, including Senator Tim Scott, the Republican from South
Carolina. There's like so much fucking bullshit going on, man.
For the running mate.
So much bullshit.
$70 billion committed to the poorest communities, oftentimes majority minority. $70 billion has led to, in those communities, about an 8% wage growth versus 3% outside of the zones, 20% appreciation in your property values, and the restoration of hope. It was a really good 4 years for people who grew up like I did in a single-parent household mired in poverty. So talking about opportunity zones is talking about perhaps the most powerful force for good from an anti-poverty focus on the private sector we've seen in my lifetime. Listen, it's always good to hear your name called if it's called in a positive way, but bottom line is it's not about me. It's about what can we do to make sure that the American people experience their version of the American dream, and that's what we should all be focused on and working towards.
Thank you guys.
Good night.
All right, the senator there, the Republican from South Carolina. You also see Ben Carson, Trump's Housing and Urban Development Secretary. He's speaking to the gaggle of reporters. Let's watch.
But I think it was fairly embarrassing that the rest of the world gets to see this. That they get to see the leader of derogatory well in that state.
Do you think that Biden?
President Biden.
Yes.
Doctor, do you think he was winsome and capable?
No, I think he was rambling and unfortunately did not represent our country very well.
What do you make of the White House saying that had a
Well, I guess they're looking for any excuse that you can find.
I'm telling you, the fact. See, they had to have a debate. If they didn't have a debate, his poll numbers would have fucking dropped even worse. But the whole problem was having the debate. It exposed him to what are they going to do? Say these are fake news stories now? Is CNN say, well, you know, everything that you see from the debate, all the stumbling and the bubbling, that's all fake. That was all fake news that Fox did to make you think that he was bubbling and stumbling. He really wasn't. CNN ran the debate. They fucked up. See, if they let Fox or CBS, right? Or MSNBC, if they let them guys do the debate, then they'd have a ground to stand on saying, well, they manipulated it and made him look bad and blah, blah, blah. CNN ran the whole thing. They never gave Trump a rebuttal, ever. Not once did they give Trump, say, oh, Mr. Trump, President Trump, you got 1 minute rebuttal. Ever. Every time fucking Trump stopped, they gave Biden another fucking minute. Every time.
Democrat side, they've obviously got their challenges on trying to swap out the situation there, and they've put themselves in a real pickle, so to speak. But the issues don't change. You change the candidate.
Would they prefer Joe Biden at the top of the ticket?
Well, there's a lot of people that have a
Who's that sexy reporter? Hey, dude, stay focused, man. You're a fucking home care nurse, man. You take care of that old Biden guy that you got there, Joseph. Don't you worry about these sexy reporters, man. You stay focused on that old guy, man. He might be collapsing right now in the other fucking room. Have you checked his fucking vitals lately? Don't you have to check his vitals and put on his chart every hour? Motherfuck, dude.
Are you still actively being vetted for vice president?
He is a fucking hottie, man. Huh. Oh, yeah. Look at that little smile she has.
It's exciting, I think, to see. I think there's going to be a lot of energy coming out for Republicans. I think it's going to be great for fundraising. People were wanting to
like,
see a
yeah,
strong,
like a nurse made her.
Powerful President Trump, and they saw that. And, of course,
it could change her fucking depends, huh?
All right, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum there speaking to Fox's Aisha Hasmi about the vetting process. Of course,
he's sleeping?
On some of the
you have to put a mirror close to his fucking nose and shit to make sure he's fucking breathing at nighttime. You use one of those, a long one, like the mechanics use. You know, we have the long telescoping ones so we can, like, look for bolts and look for shit in cars. You, like, stick one of those over there real carefully, see if it bogs up a little bit.
And A.G. Gankarski with the New York Post.
They join
me yet again. You guys, all right, let's keep talking about some of these narratives, some of these themes that have now
you're sitting next to him? Oh, my God.
To you first. If you're in the Biden campaign,
do you really have to do that?
Full damage control
Fuck, you have to sit in the same fucking room. What if he farts, dude? Jesus fucking Christ. You know how old fucking people fart and shit? And you gotta fucking sit there? Then what are you gonna do? Just check his fucking drawers to make sure it was a fart and he didn't fucking shit himself?
If that is the first question
oh, God,
out
Joseph.
every reporter's mouth in that spin room, they're in bad shape, are they not?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean...
you fart back? Oh my God. You fart on command? Wow, you're talented.
And it seems like political malpractice to say that after the debate. You know, to have that be the explanation. You know, as they say in politics.
Uh-oh, look at all the hotties, Joseph. They're back out on the floor. Oh, there's the one in pink that has the fucking flutter pants on. Remember the chick in pink?
Contenders. Right
with the pantsuit on, but her fucking pants are like 6 inches too fucking high because she's got an older pantsuit on. She's with the Asian girl in the fucking green jacket on.
There is some
on the lower right.
That were to happen, but also remember too,
Joseph scanning the fucking audience
that the Democrats have, and that's going to tell you a lot about what their thinking is coming out of this.
Wow, who's that ugly looking one right there walking around? Yeah, get out of the fucking camera, you lady. What the fuck?
And strengthen that point here. This, though, from Jackie Heinrich yet again. She says a White House official telling Fox President Biden was examined by Dr. Kevin O'Connor at Camp David in recent days. He tested negative for COVID, and the doctor determined that it was a cold here. So we also have more and more of these top surrogates there inside of the spin room at the moment. That looks like Long Beach, California, Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia right now at the moment. Also, it looks like Michael Tyler. Okay, there's Senator Raphael Warnock, Governor Gavin Newsom. So I want to put this.
Okay, here's all the fucking.
He says the spin room is full of Trump surrogates.
Yeah.
He says no one from Biden's camp we can see. Reporters keep asking each other if they have seen any of them. Well, I think it's pretty clear now. They are all gathered in unison right there on the floor. Let's listen.
Donald Trump, a man who stood there and lied for 90 minutes straight. But what I was also struck by was by what he did not say. People got a chance tonight to be reminded about the character of Donald Trump, a man who stood there and lied for 90 minutes straight. But what I was also struck by was by what he did not say. Every time he was asked a question that had something to do with the lives of the ordinary working class people that I represent here in the state.
All right, Senator Raphael Warnock there, one of the senators from Georgia.
Right, Donald Trump never said anything about the working class people at all. Wow, we must have been watching a different debate, dude.
The president there speaking to a group of their supporters. Let's watch.
Oh my God. Look at how he's standing. Look at his hands and shit. It's like a... Yeah, hi everybody. It's me. We can start doing the robot. Beep 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 beep. Come on, you and Jill do the robot, man. Come on. How come he's not talking? How come she is talking? Then how come he's not talking? Why is she talking? Then what is wrong with this picture? He's the president of the United States and she's talking.
Yes. So Joe, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh God, here we go.
Great group of supporters here, so thank you all.
Oh, well, let's see how big this group of supporters is. Pan back.
Thank you.
Oh, he's on the news. They just shot him up with some more drugs.
The whole time. I see that patch here. Look, folks, you know, I shouldn't say this, but my brother always uses lines from movies. There was a famous movie by John Wayne, and he's working for the...
So how many people are in this room? Can you pan back and let us see?
Back in the reservation, and they were lying like hell to them, and they're all sitting on a bluff. And John Wayne was sitting with two Indian, they were Apaches.
Oh, she's getting worried. Jill's getting worried.
John Wayne said, "These guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers." Except he's just a liar.
Uh-oh, he just called American Indians lying dog-faced pony soldiers. Oh my fucking God. He just called Native Americans lying dog-faced pony soldiers.
I'm not being facetious. But look, we're going to beat this guy. We need to beat this guy.
So how many people are in this room?
And I need you in order to beat him. You're the people I've run for.
We'll pan back and let's see how many fucking people are in this fucking room.
He says he's going to...
Look at that little girl looking around going, oh yeah, this is all staged.
America's as good as we are. We're the finest nation in the whole damn world. Nobody's close. Well, let's keep going. See you at the next one. God love you all.
Let's keep going. See you at the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Oh my God, the DJ just starts fucking playing. Yeah, I'm going to play right over the president. Oh, that's it. Look at him. Now he doesn't know where to go. Look. Oh, where do I go? Yeah, what do I do? Let me want the microphone.
Message to his supporters with the First Lady.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
entirely sure where this is in relation
See, look at
to
she's
the
got it.
debate
Oh,
that
here
you
he
see
goes.
there.
Yeah, I can get off the stage. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I got the little arm rail things
The
here.
First Lady also doing kind of a call and repeat.
So that
with
was
the
it,
crowd
huh?
About Trump saying
Yeah,
a
see, look.
lie.
A little dinky fucking room that he's in. They got all these people fucking packed in a fucking little dinky room.
Story about John Wayne, dog-faced pony soldier, in relation to Trump and his alleged and perceived lies there. So live now, look there inside the Biden-Harris campaign.
Yeah, he said John Wayne and these other guys were up on a bluff looking at the Indians.
Myself there. So we do want to take our first commercial break of the hour. We wanted to bring you that live look, that live event. That's what we do here. If you're new to Live Now from Fox, we bring you all of
And then
these
he
events
used the
live,
fucking
raw, and unfiltered here.
racial
Just getting started.
slander and called
For a
them
new hour, we
dog-faced
have our
pony
panelists on
soldiers,
standby to
man.
help us make sense of what we all just
Oh,
watched
my
there.
God.
The first presidential debate. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. Well, obviously, the only thing we heard the fucking Democrats say so far is, oh my God, Trump lied for 90 minutes, and the only thing I took away from it was he never said anything about the working man, the little guy out there, which that's all Trump kept saying. Kept talking about, that's all he talked about was the normal person. Holy fuck. But it's so funny because Trump got 94% of the vote for winning the debate and Biden got 6%. So we already know where this is going. It reminds you of Scary Movie 4. Wow. Pretty fucking bad, man. Pretty bad. That's all I can say. Let me tell you, man. This is what we needed to convince all the people that are sitting on the fucking fence that think Biden is so fucking great. So once they saw him just bambling and rambling for 90 fucking minutes, I mean, he couldn't even complete a fucking sentence for the most part. You know, he'd start to say one thing and then he would go off into some other fucking thing, and then he was mixing everything up and just, oh my God. He was a fucking... Then when he started talking about the abortions and all that shit, holy... Everything he said was hilarious, man.
To Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks so much for being with us here. Let's get into more of this post-debate analysis, also live spin room coverage as well here. We do have President Biden. Let's take this. Still mingling with the crowd at the moment. You can see him there after
mingling
he
with the
addressed
crowd.
his supporters. Very briefly, we have a different vantage point. There he is as well.
He's really mingling with the crowd. Does that look like he's mingling with the crowd to you? Look at, there's hardly anybody paying attention to him.
Are in the spin room defending his performance right now. Alex Thompson at Axios has this observation. The Biden crew is unusual. They're huddled together and each surrogate is making a statement for a few minutes. No one is taking questions, but the campaign says they will later. Usually surrogates spread out and just take questions. So right now you can see the Biden surrogates.
The country.
They are all gathered right there.
Oh, and this guy's still talking shit. He hasn't shut up yet. Gavin Newsom. They all got the fake fucking smiles on their faces, too.
Is not the best here. We do want to start this.
Fucking Gavin Newsom. He's like, dude, pick me. Yeah, Biden's gonna drop out, and I could be the presidential candidate right now. Man, you gotta pick me.
Substance. I care about policy. I care about facts. I care about people being accountable to their lives. What I saw tonight was Donald Trump weakness masquerading as strength. The guy was incapable, as as the senator said, answering any question directly, obfuscating, pointing fingers, and more important than anything else, disgusted by the fact that I heard ex-president of the United States talk down the American economy, talk down the United States of America to the degree he did tonight. As it relates to
Really? So Donald Trump was talking down America, huh? I didn't hear that, dude. So what did Biden say? So what did Biden say that was so good, bro?
more jobs than the last 3 Republican presidents combined.
Oh, okay. He's created more jobs than the last 3 presidents combined. We're not talking about all the people that went back to work after COVID, right? That were sitting on unemployment because they couldn't work because their companies were shut down. Because that's who they're counting. So they're counting all the people that went back to work after COVID as them creating jobs. They didn't create those jobs. All those people went back to fucking work because their fucking workplaces were open again. And all the restaurants opened up, and all the bars opened up, and all the nightclubs opened up, and all the fucking spas, and the gyms, and the golf courses, and tennis courts. Oh my God, dude. You didn't create any of those fucking jobs.
Last now 30 minutes.
The fucking these people are idiots. Oh yeah, look at all that. We created millions of jobs. We stopped COVID and created millions of jobs. No, people went back to fucking work. That's not creating jobs. Those old people already had those jobs.
And A.G. Gankarski with the New York Post, they're with me again here. Gavin Newsom was also asked that very question before the debate began in the spin room. I'm paraphrasing
It's so
here.
funny, man.
He essentially said it is so difficult to pose that question as governor of California, as a prominent Democrat in the Democratic Party. He said it basically shatters him to have to answer that question. He said it is an unanswerable question. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's the sentiment that many of these prominent Democrats like Newsom are getting asked multiple times tonight. AG?
Yeah, and one thing I noticed about the coordinated response that the Democrats had was it suggested that they had to take time to basically calibrate and find the message. And the reason they're all together at this debate rather than gaggling separately is precisely because
so they can all repeat what the other one said. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just going to repeat what the last one said so they can all be on the same page. Oh my God, Trump was terrible. Trump hated the country. Trump didn't like this. Trump didn't like that. I didn't like what I see, but none of them are going to talk about Biden's performance at all. Not one single one is going to talk about Biden's performance. They're all talking about Trump, see? You got to get the focus away from Biden.
It's a disaster for Democrats tonight.
Okay, I want to put up this tweet from Gavin Newsom. He says, Trump has been standing on the stage tonight doing nothing but spewing lies. Don't believe them. You just heard him, Tom. You just heard Newsom say it's about substance, not style. Is that a message that's going to resonate after tonight?
Trump has been standing on the stage tonight doing nothing but spewing lies. Don't believe him. That sounds like it's coming from a fucking 14-year-old kid. Let me tweet this real quick. At Gavin Newsom. Yeah, and he's got his phone right there with his cutesy little picture. I'm tweeting you. It's all lies. Don't believe him. I swear, man.
We'll look for
that didn't happen
historically, right? Height, an aquiline nose, a bearing, some freshness here. And we're political junkies, so we're fairly well familiar with Newsom. He's been around for years. But this country is really so many people are looking for
fucking lady arguing with the Secret Service, man.
And
see, look at it. He's just pandering to all the fucking. Yeah, we gotta get. Yeah, I'm here to Atlanta, man. I'm rubbing elbows. I gotta get the black vote.
Democrats right now are working on an official message coming out of this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the spin that they put on this whole thing tomorrow, man. Can't wait to see Whoopi in the fucking view.
In the process right now, but if you're going to do it, he has the bear of it, and he looked better than anybody on stage right now.
All right, I want to put up this to as far as Trump is concerned, you see Biden there still with his supporters as well.
And they got him holding their phones, taking pictures.
This debate watch party, not too far from the venue. We can get into
what the fuck?
signals or the messaging that sends as well here. But Stephanie Lai at Bloomberg.
Oh my God, man.
Trump is not planning on attending the watch party to give remarks following the debate. That's according to a senior advisor to Stephanie Lai. He's currently planning on going home. Let's talk about the debate particulars.
Holy shit. I can't believe Biden's sitting there taking people's fucking phones and doing fucking selfies.
Show by CNN. We can't
with
do
people.
It until
With their phone.
After the debate has ended. So we will do
now they're going to sell that phone on
hour.
eBay. Oh, this is the phone that President Biden held. See, you can see it here. He was holding my pink phone, so I only want $5,000 for it now.
When they went
on
that first debate together. Biden didn't have a presidential record. They went into tonight and they both had a record to mirror one another with and to face off with here.
Holy shit.
When you want to talk about
all right, man. That's it, Joseph.
Seem like that could have
I'm going to stop this shenanigans, man.
I mean, the messaging,
so I can start winding down here.
The stories,
do some PC
the news
shit
items
tomorrow.
that were brought up almost exclusively.
So N7's already gone off to bed.
The Trump presidency in 2020 as well. The pandemic, January 6th.
And then we had a couple of people. Mike showed up, hung out for a while. Thanks for the shout out, Mike.
Yeah,
that was very nice.
Look for Biden. You saw it to the extent he was able to get.
And then Andrew showed up, and then of course,
that's what he was aiming for.
And
really
Italian Eddie.
I wrote over our 24/7 newsletter earlier
today. You guys, I'm scrolling back through here.
Was
Hawkins
really
Radiation was here for a while, and then we had that gentleman from Germany. Showed up, Robin F. from Germany. Thanks for coming and hanging out, Robin F. Very nice of you, bro. Hopefully you come by when we're doing some gaming.
Then he was 4 years
Lucian,
younger.
Joseph and Lucian, first ones to show up.
And it was fresh on everybody's minds because we were living it.
Yeah, look at the security. That's why the Secret Service is all upset. They're like freaking out because he shouldn't be that close to those people right now. Somebody could just reach right through with a fucking knife and just stick him or shoot him.
Watch their reactions.
I'm telling you, man, fucking crazy, man. But anyways, everyone.
Big props to
always fun doing this shit.
And especially on
with
January 6th. And will you accept the results of the election? And I'm not sure that's certain.
Oh my God, man. Fucking crazy, man. That's all I can tell you. Fucking crazy. So anybody who thinks Biden's competent enough to do anything definitely wasn't watching this debate tonight. And they're supposed to have 2 more debates, too. I think, right? I'd like to see him out on the golf course, though. I think Trump could carry his own golf clubs. So that means Biden's going to carry his own clubs, too. See, Trump should have come back and said, fine, let's go. You carry your clubs, I'll carry my clubs. Let's go. Name the place and name the time. That would have been fucking funny. There's no fucking way Biden be carrying golf clubs. As soon as he tried to pick that bag up, you and I both know that motherfucker would either fall over backwards or fall over forwards. For 9 holes of golf, or 18 even, if they do the full 18 holes, no way Biden's going to play 18 holes, man. He'd be dead. I think he'd be dead after 9. But anyways, I'll be doing some gaming this weekend. So I don't know if I'll see you guys tomorrow or not. I'll decide. We might do something tomorrow. So Joseph, have a good rest of your evening at work. He will slip. Oh, Mike, you are still there, man. Good night from Ohio. You're quite welcome there, young man. Yeah, I don't think Biden. Italian Eddie, you're still here too? Good, bro. Yeah, I don't think Biden could carry his own golf clubs, to be honest. I really don't, man. Oh, is that where you're at, Italian Eddie, down in Florida? Cool. Hot down there today. So, but no hurricanes yet. Thank God, right? But hot. Yeah, well, that's true. It is Florida. It's always hot down there. It's part of the reason why people like it down there. Mr. Burns. Thanks, Joseph. So until I see everyone this weekend, as always, it's been a pleasure doing this for you. Always remember what? At ease, soldiers. Night, everyone. Thanks for watching.